It was a strange breeze, almost a sigh coming from another world that made me stop writing and realize Archangel Michael is not just watching you. He is weeping. And he weeps because for years someone has been stealing your love. And the worst part is, this thief lives inside you. If at this very moment you feel a tightness in your chest, a sudden urge to cry for no apparent reason, this is not weakness. It is recognition. It is your soul confirming that it already knew. You were born for deep love, for loyal partnership, for the reunion with that being who makes your heart remember home. But life taught you, day after day, to wait for love like one waiting for alms. And that is why it never arrives, because love is not a beggar, it is a king. And kings do not answer those who kneel and beg. They answer those who occupy the throne and say, from the depths of their chest, I am loved. I am the home that the other is seeking. Today I will deliver to you the truth that Archangel Michael wants you to hear before another night passes in vain. You do not need to attract love. You need to stop pushing it away with your own internal dialogue. And when you understand what I am about to reveal in the next few minutes, something within you will shift, as if an old piece finally clicked into place, and the love that seemed to have gone away will begin to retrace its path back across a bridge of incidents that only the law of assumption knows how to build. Before continuing, I need you to breathe deeply, because what is coming now will stir ancient layers, the kind we swear we have overcome, but which still silently govern every romantic choice we make. I am speaking to you who are over 35, 40, 50. You who have loved truly, who have been betrayed, who have slept hugging a pillow pretending it was someone. You who look at the younger ones today and think in silence, is there any love left for me? I tell you with the authority of someone who has studied the subconscious mind for over 3 decades, yes, there is. And it is not just any love. It is the one that was reserved for you since before time existed. Only it is trapped, stalled, suspended in the 4th dimension, waiting for you to occupy the correct state of consciousness to descend to the physical plane. Archangel Michael has his sword raised, ready to cut the veils, but he needs your yes. He needs you to open the door that can only be opened from within. And that is why he weeps, because he sees the treasure that you are, and he sees how much you diminish yourself before mirrors that do not even reflect your truth. That is why I have prepared this powerful digital book for you. It is titled, How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day, and it did not come into your path by chance. You, who are watching this video right now, at this very instant, were guided here. There are millions of people sleeping at this moment, millions watching anything else, and you are here. Stop and feel this. That tightness that rose just now, that tear that almost fell, is Michael knocking at the door of your soul. The link is in the description below and pinned to the top of the comments. This book was written for those who have felt, for weeks or months, an unrest that does not fade, an intuition that something must change, and soon. I have already received messages from brothers and sisters who read only the first few pages and began dreaming of people they had not seen in years, receiving unexpected calls, feeling their hearts tightened by a new certainty. God is calling me to a greater mission, especially within my own home. If you feel that you need to protect your family, your marriage, your children, your peace, this material is the sign, and signs do not wait forever. This content may be taken down at any moment for reasons beyond my control, and when the call is ignored 3 times, the ancients say, it falls silent. Do not let it fall silent for you. Comment Amen if you recognize that it is no coincidence that you are here now. Now I need to tell you something that changes everything. You think you lost love because of other people, right? Because of that man who vanished, that woman who chose another, that relationship that crumbled for no apparent reason. But the law of assumption, taught by Neville Goddard in an almost prophetic manner, reveals an uncomfortable truth. No one enters your life, no one leaves your life, without having been invited by your own state of consciousness. What seemed like injustice was a mirror. What seemed like abandonment was resonance. The person who left you was simply responding to your silent I am, the one that repeated day after day in secret, I am disposable, I am second place, I am not enough. And here enters Archangel Michael, with the sword of light that cuts through every lie. Because the lie that is stealing your love is precisely this. the belief that you need to do something, appear as something, or conquer something to be loved. Joseph Murphy, in his studies on the subconscious mind, demonstrated irrefutably that what you feel as truth within yourself, not what you say, but what you feel, is what becomes your experience. The feeling is the secret. It is not the affirmation. It is not the vision board. It is not the candle lit in the corner of the house. It is the feeling. And the feeling of "I already have" only arises when you occupy, with persistence, the state of the person who already lives what they desire. Think with me calmly. Have you noticed that when you are living a good moment in love, more good things happen, and that when you are in a bad phase, it seems everything goes wrong at the same time? This is not a coincidence, it is not a curse, it is not the evil eye. It is your subconscious mind operating as a cultivation field, making sprout exactly the type of fruit whose seeds you planted. And these seeds are planted by your inner dialogue, that silent conversation that no one hears, but that dictates the frequency of your heart. Modern science has already proven, through research by the HeartMath Institute, that the human heart emits a measurable electromagnetic field stronger than the brain itself, and that this field changes according to the dominant emotional state. In other words, your feeling literally shapes the energetic environment around you, attracting or repelling people, opportunities, and reunions. Now think about how many times, lying in bed before sleep, you rehearsed scenarios of fear. What if he doesn't call me? What if she betrays me? What if I end up alone? What if no one wants someone my age anymore? What if the bills don't add up this month? What if my child doesn't speak to me again? Each of these questions, repeated in the silence of the night, was a decree. It was a seed, and your subconscious mind, which does not distinguish between the real and the imaginary, was obedient. It executed. It brought into your life exactly the type of person who would confirm these beliefs. It pushed away exactly those who could disprove them, because the subconscious does not negotiate. It only obeys the dominant feeling. And that is why Archangel Michael weeps, because he is tired of seeing children of God trading coins with life when they could be issuing the decree of loving abundance. He sees you settling for crumbs of attention when the banquet is already set. He sees you waiting for someone to choose you when the entire universe is waiting for you to choose yourself first. That is why I prepared this powerful digital book for you. How to know if God will save you at the final judgment is in the link in the description and at the top of the comments, waiting for you at the exact moment this restlessness grows in your chest. Do not be one of those who ignores the call and spends years later regretting the day they saw, felt, and yet closed the tab. Click and begin. Your home needs you whole. Let us return now to the heart of the revelation. There is a specific technique taught by Neville Goddard called the bridge of incidence. It is perhaps the most underrated key of the entire law of assumption. Most people try to visualize the final result, the marriage, the reunion, the ring on the finger, and become frustrated when time passes and nothing happens. But Neville taught something different. He said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and allow the fourth dimension to build the bridge of incidence that will lead you there. You do not need to know how love will arrive. You need to know that it is already yours within you now. The bridge of incidence is the sequence of small, seemingly random events that lead you to the desired result. It is that friend who calls out of the blue and invites you to an event where you will meet someone. It is that scent on the street that reminds you of a person who will reappear in your dreams the following week. It is that song that plays at the exact moment you decide to forgive the past. It is the bus delay that makes you bump into that person who changes everything. Each of these incidents is constructed by your new state of consciousness. But if you keep oscillating between desire and fear, between will it work out and oh, this is just movie stuff, the bridge never forms. The bricks fall before they even set. And here is the common mistake that cancels out your manifestation, the one almost no one tells you about. You manifest in the morning and unmanifest at night. You decree love before leaving the house, and at bedtime you talk to your pillow about how no one will ever love you again. This nocturnal inner dialogue is the most powerful of all, because the subconscious works much more intensely during the final hours of the day, when the conscious mind lowers its guard. The thoughts you carry to your pillow are the same ones that will sow the soil of your life for the next 24 hours. And if you fall asleep thinking, "I am alone," you wake up more alone. It does not matter how many affirmations you said in the morning. Nightly reprogramming is one of the most sacred tools in existence. The teachings of Joseph Murphy converge with the wisdom of Neville Goddard on this exact point. The final 5 minutes before sleep are a gateway to the subconscious. Everything you feel in these 5 minutes will be imprinted with the force of law upon your deep mind. Therefore, make it a sacred ritual. Lie down, breathe deeply, and instead of reviewing the day that has passed, rehearse the day that is to come, but not as a spectator, rather as the protagonist of a reality already realized. Feel the embrace you wish to receive. Feel the scent of your beloved beside you. Feel the shared laughter, the hand holding yours, the affectionate phrase being spoken. Feel it as if it were now, because to the subconscious, it is now. And here comes another secret that will shock you. Time, as you conceive it, does not exist in the fourth dimension. There, all events coexist simultaneously. The reunion you dream of has already happened. The house you want to live in with your beloved is already built. The life you desire is already real on some level. What is missing is simply for you to tune your frequency to that version of reality, and through persistence, anchor it in the physical plane. It is like changing the station on the radio. The music is already playing on all frequencies at the same time. You only need to turn the dial and stop searching for the station of despair. Persistence is the most underrated word in the law of assumption. It is not enough to feel it once. A beautiful decree on an inspired night is not enough. Life will test you. The old reality will appear with greater force in the first days after you begin to assume the new state. Your ex may flash across your mind. A bill may arrive out of nowhere. Someone may say a harsh word to you. A neighbor may say something absurd. Your teenage child may slam the door shut. This is what Neville called contrary evidence, a final ploy of your old consciousness, trying to pull you back to the known state. Persist. Do not negotiate. Do not lower your frequency. Remain firm in the feeling of who you have become, because that is how the outer world is forced to reorganize itself to reflect your new inner self. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you. I know that perhaps you are feeling, at this exact moment, a strange combination of peace and urgency. It is as if an inner voice were saying, "It is now, do not let this pass." And it is. The book, How to Know If God Will Save You in the Final Judgment, is waiting for you in the link in the description and at the top of the comments. It was made for those living this phase of awakening, where the soul already knows that something great is about to happen, but the heart still needs clear direction. Within it, you will find not only concepts, but practical exercises to strengthen your faith, shield your family, and occupy definitively the state of consciousness of the person whom God has already called by name. The chosen ones who procrastinate end up learning the hard way. The chosen ones who obey the call live miracles. Comment "I obey" if you feel that this message is for you. There is a biblical scene that always touches me deeply. It is that of Archangel Michael fighting the dragon. He does not defeat his adversary through physical strength. He defeats him through spiritual authority, through the unshakable I Am. And this authority is the same one available to you now at this moment to reclaim what was stolen. The love you lost to a rival was not taken by her. It was surrendered by your hesitation. The opportunity that slipped through your fingers was not a whim of fate. It was an echo of your feeling of unworthiness. But Michael is here, and he hands you the sword so that you may cut now every silent pact you have made with romantic scarcity. I want you to close your eyes for a moment after hearing me and say out loud, "I am loved, I am desired, I am the home and the harbor for whom God has destined me." Feel every word enter your chest. Do not just say it with your mouth, say it with your belly, with your spine, with your soul. Because the I Am is not an affirmation, it is an identity. And an identity is not affirmed just once. An identity is occupied permanently, like one who lives in a house that was built for you even before you were born. Now let us descend into the daily routine, into your real life with your bills, your bank queues, your children, your invoices, your longings. Because spirituality that does not touch the concrete is false. The law of assumption needs to work when your credit card is maxed out, when the rent is due tomorrow, when your teenage child slams the door, when your marriage bleeds in silence in the living room. And it is precisely in these moments that it works the most, because it is in these hours that you are forced to choose. Either you occupy the state of the one who trusts, of the one who knows, of the one who is, or you crumble along with the circumstance. I know the story of a 47-year-old woman, a housewife, 3 children, a cooled-down marriage, and a red bank account. She learned the law of assumption and began to practice it, without telling anyone. Every night, before going to sleep, she would rehearse for 5 minutes the scene of a breakfast with her husband, but a different husband, present, attentive, looking into her eyes. She smelled the aroma of the coffee, heard his laughter, felt his hand touching hers. She did not try to force a conversation in the morning. She merely occupied the feeling at night, during her sleep. In little more than 3 weeks, without her saying a word, her husband began to change. First, he offered her a ride to the grocery store. Then, he brought her a flower from the market. Then, he sat at the table on a Sunday and said, "Love, I think we need to talk." And they talked, and they cried, and they started over. It was not magic. It was law. It was the bridge of incidents being built in the invisible and descending into the visible. It was the 4th dimension manifesting in the 3rd. And this same law is available to you now for the love you want to win back, or for the love that has not even arrived yet. Your age does not matter. Your history does not matter. It does not matter how many times you have failed. What matters is the state of consciousness you decide to occupy from now on. There is another principle I need to teach you, and it is a golden key. It is called living in the end. Neville Goddard used this expression with force. To live in the end is simply to act as if your desire were already fulfilled. Not to pretend, not to act, not to pose for a picture. It is to truly feel and breathe like that person who already has what you want to have. Do you want a relationship? Start dressing like someone who is loved. Set the table for 2, even when you are eating alone. Make space in the closet. Reserve your side of the bed. Will it seem like madness, perhaps, but it is precisely this absurdity that signals to your subconscious that you are serious, that you are no longer asking, you are confirming. And confirmation is the language the universe understands. The universe, or God, or the one consciousness, or whatever name you give it, does not react to those who beg. It reacts to those who decree. Because those who beg vibrate in absence. Those who decree vibrate in presence. And the law is simple. Everything you confirm with feeling materializes into form. I will now give you a practical exercise. Tonight, before you sleep, I want you to create a short scene lasting at most 1 minute that represents the fulfillment of your loving desire. Not the entire wedding scene, not the whole story, just a short scene. It could be an embrace, it could be a specific sentence being said by this person. It could be the sound of the door lock when they arrive home. It could be the smell of coffee made by the other in your kitchen on any given Sunday. Just that. And you will repeat this scene in your thoughts with real feeling until you fall asleep. Do this for 7 nights in a row. 7. And observe. Watch the phone. Observe the coincidences. Observe the dreams. You will see the bridge of incidents forming. Another important thing, do not share your desire with anyone. Neville Goddard was very emphatic on this point. When you speak of your desire to people who are in the frequency of fear, envy, or disbelief, you connect energetically with these frequencies and contaminate your own field. Keep silence. It is not pride. It is spiritual protection. Archangel Michael knows this better than anyone. He protects in silence, acts in silence, conquers in silence. Imitate Michael. Act in silence, feel in silence, decree in silence, and let life speak for you when the right time arrives. Another point, beware of the how. The question of how it will happen is the most subtle poison of manifestation, because it puts your rational brain in command, and the rational brain only knows the paths it has already walked. But the Holy Spirit, or the 4th dimension, knows paths that your mind cannot even imagine. Your role is not to map the route. Your role is to occupy the destination. The how belongs to the infinite. You take care of the state. God takes care of the path. I know all of this may seem like a lot. And perhaps you are feeling a mix of excitement and fatigue. Excitement because something within you recognizes the truth. Fatigue because part of you still wants to continue complaining, still wants to continue being a victim, still wants to continue telling the old story. And that is fine, but there comes a time when this story needs to end. And that time can be now. Think of all the times you were close to giving up, and something held you. That something was Michael. It was your soul whispering, "Not yet. It is not your end yet. There is still love reserved for you." And this video, this exact video, is one more of those whispers. You did not arrive here by accident. You were guided. Your task now is simply to say yes. Yes to the call. Yes to the change. Yes to the love that is about to enter through the door you have not yet seen. Let us talk about inner dialogue in more detail. Did you know that most of what you feel during the day is an echo of mental conversations you had with yourself in the morning? Research. How did you greet yourself in the mirror today? Did you say, "Good morning, gorgeous, you are amazing"? Or did you just sigh heavily and think, "I am ugly, I am old, I am tired"? Inner dialogue is a continuous prayer, and your body hears every word, and the universe hears every feeling behind every word. Reprogramming your inner dialogue is reprogramming your reality. Start small. Start with the phrases you say to yourself when you do common things. When brushing your teeth, smile at yourself in the mirror and say, "I love myself, and the love that flows from me attracts the love that comes to me." When getting into the car or the bus, say, "I am heading in the right direction even when the path seems strange." When paying a bill, even if money is tight, say, "This bill is paid, and much more will come, for I am a channel of abundance." It may seem silly at first, but that is how cathedrals are built, brick by brick, word by word, feeling by feeling. I ask you now, looking deep into your invisible eyes, are you willing to stop stealing your own love? Because that is what you have been doing without realizing it. You have been your own thief. You have kidnapped your own happiness with thoughts that not even your worst enemy would have the courage to utter. And Archangel Michael, who protects the faithful, is asking you to sign a peace treaty with yourself, to forgive yourself for having believed for so long that you deserved less. There are moments in life when the sky opens only once. There are videos, books, encounters, and dreams that act as portals. And when you cross through, you cannot return to who you were. The price of revelation is the impossibility of ignorance. And this is one of those moments. You can close this video now and continue your life as it has always been, or you can choose today to embody your new version, the one who loves without fear, the one who receives without guilt, the one who lives in the feeling of the fulfilled desire. I want to remind you of something essential. The law of assumption is not a technique for manipulating others. You are not putting anyone in a trance. You are not forcing anyone to love you. You are simply becoming that which naturally attracts your divine correspondence. If the person you love or want to love is truly part of your destiny, they will respond. If not, someone even better will appear through the same principle. Trust the movement. Trust the flow. Trust the infinite capacity that the invisible has to organize your visible life. And do not be in a hurry to control the details. Some of the greatest blessings of my journey, and of the journey of hundreds of people I have guided, came disguised as delays. What took time was what arrived most complete. What seemed lost was what returned multiplied. Have faith. Not the faith that only waits, but the faith that feels it already is. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1 says that faith is the firm foundation of things hoped for, but the most ancient and most correct translation says that faith is substance, do you hear me? Something concrete, something that has spiritual weight, something that occupies space in the fourth dimension and descends at the right time into the material plane. Persistence in the feeling is what separates those who manifest from those who are eternally trying. You do not need to try. You only need to be, daily, in silence, with firmness, like Michael. And as you become, observe the small signs. A butterfly, a rainbow on a rainy day, an old song playing at the exact moment, the scent of rain when you decide for the first time to surrender to faith, a stranger's house number that coincides with the date of your birthday, These are God's notes saying, I am in control, continue. I need to warn you about one more enemy, perhaps the most subtle of all. It is called impatience. Impatience is what makes you assume the state for 2 days, and on the third, open your phone to check if your loved one has sent a message. This act of checking in itself is the decree of doubt. You have just told your subconscious, I do not have it yet, therefore I need to check. And the subconscious, obedient, maintains the lack. Stop checking. Behave like someone who already has. Those who have do not need to check. Those who have live life and let reality confirm in its own time that which is already certain in the invisible. I also need to teach you about forgiveness. There is no full manifestation where there is anchored hurt. Hurt weighs tons in the field of the heart. And even if you decree love from morning until night, if you still feed the rancor of past betrayal, of injustice, of a lack of recognition, your field remains impure to receive the new. To forgive is not to say that what happened was right. To forgive is to remove the chain from your foot so that you can walk. It is to let go of the stone you have been carrying for years, thinking you were being righteous. Let it go. Archangel Michael cannot hand you the sword if your hands are still busy holding on to the past. Do this exercise today. Sit in silence for 10 minutes. Think of a person who hurt you. Do not defend their act, but say internally, I release you and I release myself. I surrender you to divine justice. I keep my love, my peace, my I am, and repeat this until you feel a strange calm descend upon your chest. This is the moment when Michael enters. This is the instant when the bridge begins to be drawn. And one more word about your Brazil. I know that life demands much here. I know of the installments, the health of the elderly father, the medicine that has risen in price, the child who lives far away, the marriage that has lost its spark, the routine that feels cast in stone. I know of the exhaustion of those who wake up at 5 in the morning to take 2 buses. But I tell you, with all the authority this night grants me, the law of assumption works on the bus, in the public healthcare line, in the last-minute bank transfer, in the small room that has become a corner of prayer. It does not distinguish zip codes. It responds to frequency. And frequency is cultivated where we are with what we have. If you feel, from the small room of your house, the state of someone who lives in a house with a view, life will build the bridge. It may take 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. But the law is law and it does not fail. And while it works from within, live your life. Do not remain paralyzed waiting. Go to the market. Take care of your hair. Paint your nails. Buy new clothes, even if they are simple. Meet friends. Smile at strangers at the gas station. Because your emotional field needs to be vibrating high while the invisible sews the threads of your new reality. Manifest in silence, but live in movement. I bless you now with the authority that has been given to me by my experience and by the love I feel for you, who have reached this point. I bless your love. I bless your home. I bless your I am. I bless every night that you go to sleep from now on feeling, for the first time in a long time, that you are not alone, that Michael is at your door, and that within you there is a queen, a king, someone who came to earth to love and be loved in full measure, overflowing, without guilt, without fear, without restriction. And I ask you from the bottom of my heart, do not leave this moment without making a decision. Every revelation demands a step, and your step is here now. That is why I have prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day. It is in the link in the description and pinned at the top of the comments. This book is the practical continuation of what you have just heard. It will teach you day by day to recognize the signs that God is sending you, to shield your family from invisible attacks, and to occupy the state of consciousness of the person who is saved, not in the future, but now, in the eternal present. Do not let inertia steal what Miguel is delivering to you today. People who have started reading have reported reconciliations within weeks, premonitory dreams, and a sense of real protection within their homes. Click the link, download the material, and begin this very night, before another life distraction extinguishes this certainty that is burning in your chest right now. And if this video has touched you, leave your comment with the words, I am, because this decree, written by you in the comments, will be the first brick of your bridge of incidents. Your like and subscription to this channel are your decree of acceptance of the new reality, your spiritual signature confirming that you have heard, felt, and obeyed. You have just crossed the door. Do not go back outside anymore. I will see you on the other side in your new life. May Miguel walk before you always, and may love, your love, the one that was reserved for you from before time existed, find you awake, ready, and at home. Amen.